So I live in Manhattan. I do not have a ton of space. I don't have room for a giant machine. So the way I make pizza dough at home is with this little boy right here. All you need is a fork. So what I start with is about 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna do what's called the well method. So I'm gonna just kind of make this giant well, just enough where I can kind of see the board, but I still have this barrier of all the flour. All right, it's kind of like, go back to your sandcastle days. That's where you want to be. So I have a little bit of yeast in here, a little warm water. I let it bloom for about 10 minutes. 110 degrees is the optimal water temperature when you pour in your yeast. So it kind of wakes it up, and you know it's there if you can see this kind of foam. That's a good sign that you did the right thing. A little squeeze of honey in there just to give it some sweetness, and then I'm going to pour the whole thing into the well. All right. Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit intense. If you break down one of the walls, you've got a little bit of a mess to clean up. So you just kind of start bringing in the flour little by little from the walls. Just kind of working it, right? Trying your best not to break a wall, because if you do, you're kind of doing one of these things, trying to scoop it off the ground. So just a little bit in, move it around. It's going to get a little thicker. Awesome. And you just kind of keep working it. You can see the dough is just getting a little bit thicker. And now that it's kind of looking like a heavy cream or a pancake batter, I take a big pinch of salt. If I do the salt too early, it's going to kill the yeast. So you just want to add it right when the yeast is kind of getting incorporated with the flour. Awesome. All right. So you can see this kind of all happening. Now I don't really care about the sides. It's just kind of like a free-for-all. Get all that flour in there. Do its thing. I love doing this. This is like after a hard day at work, grab a fork, make some dough, nothing better. All right, beautiful. At this stage, your fork has kind of done its job. So I like to move to this guy. It's called a bench scraper. Really, really helps the process. So I kind of get all my flour in there. You can kind of see the dough really taking shape now. This is kind of called a shaggy dough. And you can even kind of, I learned this in Italy, you can kind of chop it up just to kind of get it a little bit more incorporated. Awesome. And then this only goes so far, right? So you have this dough, and the only way to do it is use your beautiful God-given tools. So you get in there a little bit of flour, and you just start kneading it. And the way you knead it is you just kind of stretch out, fold, and twist. So if it gets sticky, just grab a little extra bench flour. So it's stretch out, fold, twist. Stretch out, fold, twist. And just keep on going. You can see it really starting to shake form here. And again, if it starts getting too sticky, just grab a little bit of that extra flour, get messy. That's what pizza dough is all about. So it's stretch, fold, twist. Awesome. And you're going to do this for about 10 minutes until the dough really looks nice, coherent, and you have this really smooth texture throughout. So, as you can see, it's been about 10 minutes, and most of the flour on my board has absorbed into the dough. It's not too sticky, but if you need a little bit more bench, go for it. And I'm just going to kind of tuck the sides right underneath of it. Beautiful. And I'm just going to grab a bowl, a little bit of flour on the bottom so it doesn't stick. Gentle with our little baby dough. A little bit more on top. Cover it with a towel. Forget about it for about 2 hours. Let it rise in a warm place, and you'll have a perfect dough made by hand.